Welcome back to Collectibles Unscripted. My name is Ryan, and I am here with Sonic 1992. He is the Guinness World Record for Sonic the Hedgehog items. That's crazy cool. He needs to make sure he goes and checks out our Collectibles app to log all that stuff because, wow, what a collection, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. So, your name and your handle. Where did you get Sonic 1992 from?
Well, coincidentally, it came about when I first signed onto the internet back in 1996. I got onto AOL and I kept trying. I thought, hey, it'd be cool to have a screen name, Sonic the Hedgehog. I tried it, it was rejected. I tried Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it was rejected. And I tried a dozen other variations of that, and they were all rejected. So I thought, how about the year that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out? So I typed in Sonic 1992, enter, and it said, Welcome to America Online, Sonic 1992. So I started
America
using that for my handles
Online.
on everything.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. That's awesome. America Online. So many people that are possibly listening to this don't even know what that is. Isn't that
And
crazy?
and it blows my mind too because back in those days when you got on AOL, that was when it was young internet and it felt like you were in an exclusive club. And it was really neat. I remember chatting with people while watching the X Files, and that's how I got a lot of my collection started was through AOL bulletin board ads. I would type in Sonic the Hedgehog stuff wanted, and people would write me back saying, "I have this item. Would you like to have it?" And I'd say,
Wow.
"Sure." And the
That's
way I'd
great.
protect myself, I'd have them send it COD, and I'd pay for it that way. That way, there was no like risk of sending money to a stranger and not knowing where
Yeah.
your money's going.
Well, yeah, that was before the days of obviously PayPal and Venmo and Zelle and everything, so that
Oh
totally makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. But it was great. I mean,
Yeah. So, where are you currently located then?
I'm in Dayton, Texas. It's just outside of Houston.
Awesome. Awesome. Exactly what do you collect? Do you only collect Sonic things or do you collect many more things that the internet doesn't know about necessarily?
Oh, well, I do. My main collecting is Sonic, but I do have 80s memorabilia, 80s arcade games. I have the original signage from my local arcades that I grew up in the 80s. The memorabilia from the mall that we used to have before they demolished it. I got all the signage out. I collect action figures from the 90s cartoons, Nickelodeon memorabilia, Terminator 2, a bunch of other little things, but the main deal is Sonic video game signage and store displays.
Wow. So how long would you say you've been collecting for?
Well, I would say at least 30, about 32 to 33 years. It started with, I started collecting the Terminator items when T2 came out and things like that. But when Sonic the Hedgehog came out, I really started collecting at that time because I fell in love with the game almost instantly. And then when they started making posters and displays and then eventually toys, I started getting a few things here and there. And those few items eventually turned into a room full of items and just kept growing.
The collecting status of a room full of items from just a couple of shelves, right? I think everybody goes through that, as you can see if you're watching the video.
Oh, yeah. And
We're
the
not
fun of having to dust and clean everything.
sure. Yes, yes. So you've been collecting for over 30 years. What was your first Sonic the Hedgehog item, if you remember?
Well, it's a little, actually, my good friend Manuel Gonzalez, he's the one who got me started on Sonic because he bought the Genesis first. Well, he came in and said, check out this little Sonic I have. And I said, no way. And he pulled out this little bubblegum container about this tall, and it held bubblegum inside his head. It was just a little plastic figurine. And I said, where'd you get that? And he said he got it from Eckerd Drugs. Well, he gave me that, and I went straight back down there and I bought all the rest of them.
Eckerd. Oh my goodness, what a name. A lot of
Yeah,
people don't know what that is either.
yeah, I know. And that's what's so funny about getting older. You just don't realize how fast the time goes by.
Yeah, yeah. And what's a Radio Shack? What's a Circuit City, you know?
Oh God, I know. And yeah, the internet has brought good things and bad things at the same time.
Mm, I agree with that. I agree. But in a collecting standpoint, it's definitely helped you out a lot and myself out a lot, I'm sure.
Yes, very much.
What is your favorite Sonic game? What is your all-time favorite Sonic game then?
It will always be Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Too. Why is that?
Yes. Well, the first Sonic game was so much fun. I mean, I played it over and over. Loved the death out of it. And then all of a sudden I hear coming soon, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I said, no way. So I actually went down to Toys R Us when I heard about it, and it was like in September or August or September of 1992. They already had a banner up that said, pre-purchase Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and get a free t-shirt. I
Oh.
grabbed one of those tickets, went right up to the cage at Toys R Us, put my $10 down, and got my free T-shirt. And I couldn't believe I was holding that receipt, just counting down the days to November the 24th.
That's great. That's
And
great.
it was the first game I ever put money down on. It was the first game I ever got a freebie for putting money down on. And it was the day that it was called Sonic Tuesday, Tuesday, November the 24th of 1992. There was big celebration and hoopla all over the place, but nothing in the Houston area. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have been part of all those celebrations for the release of Sonic 2. So I just waited. I had to wait till I got off work, went straight to Toys R Us and picked it up and took it home. And I was reading the back of it while in traffic, and I nearly rear-ended someone because I get lost in reading the back of the box, trying to see what the game's going to be about.
Nice, nice.
So I
And
had to
that's
set it down.
yeah, you probably want to open the game and then open the manual that they possibly had in there, right?
No, I definitely had a manual. You got to read it, you got to get you got a little synopsis of the game and things like that. Today you don't get anything. You just
Nothing.
get an empty
Absolutely.
shell.
Or maybe
Yeah.
a pre-order bonus is not so physical anymore. It's very digital, and you definitely miss the physical aspect of certain things. I
Oh,
am very
definitely.
excited to get a couple of physical things from the Sonic and Shadow Generations, though, for sure.
Oh, you did? Did you order that?
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered for sure.
I did.
I need that journal. As soon as I found out there was a journal of Robotnik, I was like, yes, like this is a pre-order for sure.
Oh,
The digital, obviously, I want, but it's like it doesn't come with that physical, tangible stuff. As a collector, as I'm sure you definitely know, it's one of those things where touching something is just so much more valued and just a better feeling overall.
yes. I mean, I ordered two sets of that Sonic versus Shadow Generation so I could have one to keep for my collection and one to open and enjoy.
So going off of that, are you an inbox or out of box person then?
Well, it all depends on the item. If I really, this is something I learned a long time ago through actually a collectibles show back in the early 90s. If you really like something, buy two. You buy one to open and enjoy, and you buy one to keep for your collection.
That's mostly the case with you nowadays, or
Oh yes, very much. Especially when it comes to games, uh, anything like that, anything that I want to open and enjoy. I'll always buy one for my collection to keep, brand new, mint, and then I'll have one to open. Not every single item, but unique items, fun items, things like that. I'll buy another one. I'll give you an example. Just this week, I went to Walmart and found Sonic the Hedgehog lava lamps. I had
really?
to have that to enjoy, so I bought one to keep, and I bought three more to open and put around the room.
Is there different variations of it, or is it just one?
Oh, it's just one. It's the same. It's got the it's not actually a lava lamp. It's called a motion lamp because it wasn't made by a Lava Light company.
Of course.
So it's like orange looking globs that move inside.
Cool, cool. So, would you say you collect everything Sonic then, or is there some things you just don't touch?
I collect everything that I can get my hands on. It is a little difficult because what is annoying is other parts of the country get items and you can't get them. They could be exclusive to the UK. But then I say that and people in the UK say, well, y'all get stuff in the US that we can't get. But, well, you try and buy it online, they will not ship.
Mhm.
You have to like try and find someone over there and you kind of have to pester them. Could you please send me these items? Yeah.
You have to make a bond or a friendship over across the pond, right?
Yes, and yeah, and it is I know what it's like. International shipping is a pain in the butt,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's more of a pain in the butt for people in the UK because they have VAT, value added tax. If you send them something, they got to pay import taxes on it. So
Hmm.
yeah, it is a pain in the butt and complicated. So I can understand why they don't want to have to do it.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Burger King in Brazil, of all places, has a unique set of Sonic the Hedgehog figures. But guess what? There's no eBay Brazil. You can't write to anybody in Brazil to have them send it to you because there's apparently some kind of embargo. It's, and you can't get anything sent from there, just like Mexico. There was a Sonic the Hedgehog Bluetooth speaker a couple years ago that was for sale in Mexico. Can't get it shipped here. And I'm
Mm.
right here in Texas. So, I
Not
mean,
too far. Yeah, right around the corner, more or less.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's the hard part of, it being such a globally licensed brand. I think with, and being a Sonic collector, yeah, that's one of those toughest things probably for you for sure.
yes. And if I did order some from Brazil or Mexico and it did come in, customs would probably shred it to pieces.
Possibly. Yeah, yeah, that's always a toughie. That's always a tough one. Going off of that, like, how has the fandom and the collecting habits of Sonic evolved over the years that you've seen, that you've been collecting for, 30 plus years?
Well, there's two things about it. All right, I actually made a meme on my Instagram account. It's three pictures. It said the first picture, it said Sonic merch available during the '90s. It's a dripping faucet. That's all that came out. There'd be one item here, a few months later, another item, and it could have been in another part of the U.S. and I never knew about it. So it was like a dripping faucet, hardly nothing. In the last 2 to 3 years with the Sonic movies, it went from a dripping faucet to a dam burst. And right now, it's like an overwhelming tsunami washing us all away. That's how much stuff has been coming out. You can't keep up with it. It's crazy. The collecting, the way it is with the community, everybody loves it and shares in the joy of collecting Sonic. And hey, look, I found a new thing, and you share it with everybody, and everybody's saying, "Whoa, my gosh, where do I go find it?" And is it at Target? Is it online? Is it on Amazon? So it's a lot of fun, and everybody shares in the joy of it.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of with, obviously collectibles being in stores or online, like what's your go-to thing? Like do you pre-order? Do you go hunt for it? Like what is your typical day to day when it comes to finding these Sonic collectibles?
I actually like to do that. Go out and enjoy the day, find the item in the store, and be happy. But it's getting harder to do that because of the flippers.
Yeah.
The Houston area is infested with flippers. I mean, when the Jack Pacific 4-inch figures, they're only at Target. The ones that they sell them at Walmart, but Walmart for some reason is always 2 or 3 waves behind, which I'll never understand. And if those old figures are still on the pegs, they'll never bring new ones in. They'll let them sit there until they have that much dust on them. So we go to Target to look for them, and like right now, I can't find Neo Metal Sonic because it's always gone. I tried going to BigBadToyStore.com,
Mm,
but they were apparently sold out instantly. I'd rather,
mm.
in other words, if it turns into a wild goose chase where I'm having to go to 50 Targets, I'd rather just order it online because that gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Um, but otherwise, I enjoy going out to find the items.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that like really collects like what I want to collect, and like you said, Neo Metal Sonic is like a huge like figure that we don't have like anything of it, so that character is like really tough to find. I know, but there are obviously people flipping it too. But I am also looking for that one every single time I go to a store. I'm looking for that one for sure, and I
Yeah,
don't even collect action figures like that. But it's like
yeah,
I had to pick up the movie set of Sonic and Shadow just because just something about those figures is so well done and so nice looking, and it's just I don't know, like I don't care for action figures, but I had to have those. And same thing, if I find Neo Metal Sonic, I'm picking it up. Absolutely.
yeah. And I know it's been at our stores because there's like 3 or 4 of the grinning Sonic. So that means they've gotten the set in once or twice, but it's
Yeah.
already been flipped over. And
Yeah.
so
I
and the, so those so I know how they do it. They ship 2 or 3 variant Sonics with the wave set in a box, and then you get probably one of the Neo Metal. Uh, so that's the only thing that's frustrating is that aspect of it. The stores never order enough, and
yeah.
so yeah. So I'd rather just order from Big Bad Toy Store and be done with it than play the wild goose chase, going to endless Targets.
Understandable. Absolutely understandable for that. So with Sonic and it being like a big fandom and collection of yours, obviously, do you play all the games? Do you watch all the cartoons? Do you listen to all the music? Do you read all the comics? Like, what is your go-to?
Well, my sometimes I get a lot of hate for this, and I am sorry, but I am a classic Sonic fan. I support all Sonic games, and I buy all Sonic games. I just prefer the classic more. The modern Sonic game mechanic, I never could get into it. I can play Sonic 2 every day for the rest of my life and enjoy it. I can play Sonic and Knuckles every day and enjoy it. I just love that version. I love classic Sonic more.
Hmm. No,
But
that's understandable. I'm sure you're really excited for Generations then. And what did you think about Superstars then? If you were more of a classic Sonic guy?
oh, it was a lot of fun. It was very fun. Yes,
Yeah,
I
no,
loved it.
I enjoyed that one. I think it got a lot of hate for what it was, but it's you got to remember they're just trying to go back to the retro like fun aspect of the classic Sonic, and they added obviously a couple new things in there, and it's the levels and everything like that.
You see,
But yeah, that was a fun game overall.
well, I've got it down to a science. I know how it works. The people who love modern Sonic mostly weren't alive when classic Sonic came out. Number two, at the Sonic 25th anniversary party, when they announced Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania, when they announced Sonic Mania, you could hear crickets in the room. Nobody was interested. Then when Sonic Forces came up, I had to like cover my ears. People were screaming at the top of their lungs. Now, guess what happened? Sonic Mania was a smash and Forces was a flop.
Yep. That's
So, I
true.
mean, these are my opinions, so please do not hate me for them.
No. Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, I think, being in the space of this and everybody has their opinions totally. And but I think you're right. Like, and it's the numbers don't lie when it comes to Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. That's not necessarily an opinion. That's more or less factual with all the data.
I mean, like I said, I support everything Sonic, modern, classic, whatever. It's just I prefer classic Sonic.
Got it. Got it. So, how do you organize and display your collection of Sonic? Do you have like a dedicated space or a room? How does it all go about?
Well, if you've seen the pictures don't do it justice. There was never enough room. It went from being two small bedrooms in my mother's house back in the 90s. Now it occupies a 1,600 square foot building,
Wow.
and it's behind my house. It looks like I made sure that it looks nondescript. It looks like a rusty old shed. You'd never know it. What's in there? You think it's probably full of lawn tractors and shovels. Nope, it's hidden well. And
That's great.
yeah,
Launch vectors. I mean, you never know and that's smart. Being a collector, obviously, you have to display your collection, but have it in sort of some of a discreetness to it.
yeah, that's the world we live in today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When I have guests to come over and visit, I said, "You're welcome to take pictures, but please turn geotagging off."
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, being a Guinness World Record of Sonic, have you ever been noticed directly by Sonic or Sega before?
Unfortunately, no. And
Hmm.
I've said this before in other interviews. I don't know what the deal is. Some people say it's because I don't have enough followers. They only deal with people who have thousands and thousands of followers. So I don't want to talk bad or say anything against them, but I've never been approached or anything. The only one I did get was from Yuji Naka. He actually said congratulations on my Instagram.
Very cool.
That
Very
was wonderful. As soon as I saw that, I quickly snapped a picture, I blew it up, and had it framed.
And for the listeners and followers of this podcast, who is Yuji Naka?
Creator of Sonic.
Creator of Sonic, absolutely. No, that's something in its own, for sure.
I mean, I was thrilled about that, but to answer your question, no, and I don't know why.
Got it. What is the rarest and most valuable thing you think in your Sonic collection?
Well, the most rare and valuable to me is my Sonic and Tails statues from Toys R Us in 1994.
And how
And
did you obtain those?
that's my most favorite story, okay? I went to Toys R Us one day, and on top of the video game display cases, I saw that Sonic and that Tails sitting there, and my jaw just dropped. I said, oh my God. I went straight to the manager and I said, where did those come from? I would love to have those. And he gave me the number to the Sega merchandising company that produced them. I tried to tell them, look, I'll pay you. Tell me, I'll pay for the shipping. They wouldn't sell them to me.
Hmm.
So I asked the manager, if y'all ever decide to let these go, will you please let me know? I'd love to have them. So year after year, I kept in touch with him from 1994 all the way to 2001. And one day at work, I got a call saying, yes, this is the manager at the Toys R Us. If you'd like to have those statues, we're remodeling. We need you to come over and pick them up right away. So I asked my boss if I could slip out of work for a couple of hours. I went over there with my truck and some moving blankets and picked them up and got them out of there before they changed their mind. And they've been mine ever since 2001.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a very cool story.
And the best, yes, thank you. And the very best thing about them is they were elevated where kids' grubby little hands couldn't get on them and scuff them up and damage them. So they're like mint.
That's really really cool, and that's not something you see every day or in anybody else's collection, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen other people finding them and restoring them because I've seen several people find them and they've always been busted up, broken, or Sonic's nose is missing, or the bases are missing, or they're incredibly faded from the UV damage from fluorescent lamps in the store.
Yeah.
I got mine before any of that could happen.
Yeah, there was like similar thing for Toys R Us before they went out of business, where they had Freddy Funko, which is a mascot of Funko for Funko Pops, and a bunch of Toys R Us stores had like I think it was like a 4 foot Freddy, I want to say, like in their stores, and a lot of people
Yes.
were going around and doing that same thing. Hey, and but that was over a quick period of time. You actually kept intact with this store manager over the many years he was there, like that's really cool, and that's great that you're able to form that bond, as well, that relationship to get to what the big money prize,
Yes. See, persistence pays off, and unfortunately, that doesn't work today. Back in
No.
the 90s, the managers and stuff didn't care about this stuff.
Yeah.
They threw it away and they didn't want it. And like, remember Funco Land? Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kept in touch with them too. And when Sonic and Knuckles was new, they told me that when it's over, they let me have the banner, the poster, the 4 foot standee, the countertop standee. They gave it all to me.
Amazing.
Today, that would never happen. I mean,
No.
not to mention
Yeah.
the fact that there's no more displays, there's no more beautifully decorated video game departments. It's all gone.
Yeah.
And in fact, you go to Walmart right now, they're all remodeling so much. The display cage for each system is less than 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall. Probably within a year or two, there will be no more video game department at Walmart. They're going to switch it all to digital, so there will be no more displays completely.
Not wrong. No, man, you're not wrong. And that's like we said earlier in the podcast, the internet is a blessing but a curse at the same
Yes,
time,
it's
especially
it's
for
like
collectors.
it's give and take, good and bad. You have to. It's hard, but yeah. So it was easier back then to get those kind of displays and things like that, but not today. No way. They're too sought after, and yeah. So it's different now.
What would your holy grail of Sonic things be if you could have it?
If I could have it, yeah, they would. It would have to be a definitely a holy grail deal because because it'll be impossible to get. There was in the early 90s there was apparently an F1 or a F1 Formula Racing deal, and the race driver who won the race actually got a racing trophy with Sonic holding a racing cup. I've seen pictures here and there. That would be an incredible thing to have, but it'd probably be easier to find the Lost Ark with Indiana Jones than to get that.
Got it.
Um, that would be an incredible thing to have. I would love to have. There's Sonic the Hedgehog statues in the UK. They're nice. They're modern Sonic style, but the freight to get them here would be almost impossible. Let alone survive the trip. So that
Mhm.
would be something I would really love to have.
You're in Texas. You going to the Sonic convention, or you ever been?
Oh yes, I was at it 2 years ago, or was it last year? I went to the last one. It was just called the Chaos Creators
Hmm.
Sonic event, and this time it's actually called the Sonic Expo.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'll definitely be there. It's in a few weeks, basically, or no, in a few months. Actually, take that back.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen some stuff about it and people posting about it. So I was like,
Oh,
oh, he's in Texas. I mean, he's probably
yeah,
going.
I'll be there. I'll be doing a panel there on the world record, and just kind of like what we're doing here. I'll be telling how I started collecting and
Very
and things
cool.
like that.
Well, congratulations on that. I think I've always wanted to do a panel because I'm like a content creator myself, and a collector, obviously. I just don't exactly know what I do it on. But yeah, if I had a Guinness World Record, I definitely want to do it on that.
Well, yes, thank you. And like I said, I look forward to it. It's always fun because I don't have very many people to talk to about this, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I get along with people that are much younger than me because
Mhm.
everybody I grew up with, they're all bona fide old people now. They don't want to do anything, and I'm not kidding. It's really terrible. That's why I enjoy doing these things. You stay young, you have fun, and
Yeah.
yeah. So
You
I
collect
enjoy
what you
doing.
love, and you follow your passions, and and you meet more community and fans and friends, and it doesn't matter the age gap. Sometimes my wife says the same thing. It's like, oh, you're hanging out with 20-year-olds, and I'm like, I'm 28, and it's like, yeah, I am, because they like the same thing I do. Yeah, they're in a different part of their lives or whatever, but we're still a community. We're still friends. Like, we can still do things together and talk and stuff. It's not
Oh
it's
yeah.
not weird, babe.
It's really neat though when people actually come up and say, "You're that Sonic guy." Just about a week ago, I was at our local Walmart, and I went in there and I bought one of the new Sonic 3 figures, and
Hmm.
I was checking out. The one of the cashiers walked up to me and said, "You're that Sonic World Record guy, and look, you're adding to your collection. Can I get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It's always a good feeling, and like you said, it's like, oh, well, they only notice the followers and stuff, and it's like so many people like yourself are just genuine about the fact that you love this stuff, and they see that and they see the authenticity of it.
Exactly. I mean, the follower thing, if people want to follow me, that's great, but I'm not just going to put garbage out every day just so I can try and pump the numbers up.
Yep.
That's kind of like having fake friends on Facebook, which I'm pretty sure I probably have about 40 bots that I didn't know that I clicked
Yeah.
follow,
Oh yeah,
allow on. But
everywhere.
so, but yeah, I mean that's what I mean. If you want to follow me, great.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna try and fake my way up the ladder. I'm not gonna
Yep.
do that.
Yep. So, what is your strategy for collecting then? Do you focus on like specific eras or characters or the types of merchandise? Not really, right?
Well, it's harder to find. In other words, if we go to the store and I find a new Sonic thing, I'm going to pick it right up. So yes, I try to collect everything. I'm trying to find some of the stuff that I missed during the 90s that I didn't know about because most people do not believe me when I tell them that in the US, we actually had stuff sold regionally. There might have been stuff sold in Texas, or no, there might have been stuff sold in Minnesota that was never in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And an example of this was in the Sega Visions magazine in 1995 that I had, there was an ad in the back and it said, "Go to pick up the Sonic the Hedgehog bedroom set with pillowcases and sheets and comforters." And the name of the company was at the bottom of the page. And I called them and said, "Where are these items at? I can't find them anywhere around here." They said, "Well, you can go to your local Target." And I went and checked all of our Targets and said, and I called them back and said, "They're not here. Can I just order it from you over the phone?" And they actually let me buy it over the phone, the complete set.
Something you can't do nowadays necessarily either.
No, you can't. Nobody will do it. But that's an example that I've never seen in anybody else's Sonic collection, that they have this entire mid 90s complete classic Sonic bedroom set. Which it wasn't classic Sonic, it was the Sonic.
Yeah, right, right. Before the modern Sonic, I totally
Yeah.
get that. Collectibles is a lot about, like finding like a hidden treasure or a hidden gem in a random place. Have you ever found something in like a thrift store or a garage sale that you were very unexpectedly found?
Honestly, no, because I've been looking and looking, and this goes back to the same thing I've told you earlier, that even though I've been looking for years, the retro gaming community is very rabid and aggressive around here. They scour every flea market, every garage sale, every estate sale, and you can't find anything. The only thing you can find in Houston area garage sales is junk glassware and baby clothes. I've tried. I've given them a chance. We gave up on the flea markets because those are always scraped clean. They have been for years.
Yeah.
So the only hope is a friend or someone telling me that they found something for me and they tell me about it. But no, I've never found anything that way because it's just impossible around here.
Got it. Got it. So, what is the next hunt that you're on for something?
Well, the problem is it's hunting for the stuff that I still don't know about. There over the years, wonderful things have come out in Japan, and we got to visit Japan in 2019 and go to Joypolis, the Sega theme park there, and they have
Mhm.
original Sonic merchandise that you can't get anywhere else out of Japan. We went to little shops all over Japan and found things here and there. It was incredible. That was the most incredible shopping or Sonic hunt I ever had, was walking around Japan, going through the markets and everything.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's crazy because, like you said, there's so many things that are exclusive to Japan nowadays, and and other parts of the countries, like the UK. Like, I think there was like Sonic Halloween merch like a couple years back, where I was like, "Oh, this is really sweet." I'm like, "I wonder if you can get this here," and then it was like literally only a store in the UK carried it, and there was no other store. It's like come
Yes.
on, like globally license these things. There's also like a new Shadow the Hedgehog manga, Japanese comic book series that's out now in this Japanese magazine. And unfortunately, they haven't said anything about licensing it outside of Japan. But so the people that are in Japan are like, hey, we're going to take photos, and then somebody in the US is going to translate it to upload it so the US fans can read it too. And then the publishing company was like, oh, if you guys do that, we're going to stop the manga altogether. It's just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that can be frustrating. This is my favorite thing to gripe about: the Sega Shop US versus the Sega Shop UK. The Sega Shop UK is like, wow. The Sega Shop US, it looks like junk from Etsy.
Yeah, yeah,
And I remember the last convention I was at, and I said that everybody in the room cheered and laughed because they know I'm not kidding. They have
yeah.
incredible stuff for the Sega Shop UK. And if you try and go over there, and if you try and buy it, it says, sorry, we see that you're in the US and we cannot sell to you.
Tough, tough. Do you have to like use a reshipper and stuff like that every now and then to get your stuff?
Well, occasionally a few things that will appear in the Sega Shop UK will appear on a site called justgeek.com, and I can get some of the items from there, but not all of it.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Barry, for your time. Before we wrap up, I want to do a lightning round with you. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, Sonic or Shadow?
Sonic.
Tails or Cream?
Tails.
Rouge or Knuckles?
Knuckles.
Silver or Blaze?
Blaze.
Okay. Big the Cat, best or worst character?
He's neither the best or the worst. He's just a good character.
He's a good character overall. Absolutely, I agree. All right. We already kind of answered this one, but 2D or 3D Sonic?
2D classic Sonic all the way for me.
All right. Autograph you still want?
I don't actually have any really. I have a handful of autographs. I'd love to meet Yuji in person. There's just so many. I've actually been to so many meets that the lines are so long that I skip it.
Got it. Got it. No, not an autograph guy, and that's totally okay. But to get the creator, that's a different story.
Yes.
All right. Who wins in a race? Sonic, Flash, or Quicksilver?
Sonic all the way.
All right. Who is the best Sonic villain?
Robotnik, of course.
Robot. Classic, classic. All right. I don't know if you collect Funko Pops, but a Sonic Funko Pop that you'd want that doesn't exist yet.
Oh, that's a good question. I have all the Sonic Funko Pops, of course. I know some Knuckles Chaotix characters,
All
like
right.
Vector the Alligator,
Yeah.
uh, Charmy Bee, all the characters from Chaotix.
Yeah.
and actually branded Knuckles Chaotix on the box.
Like a whole 3 pack of them?
Yes.
I love it. Love it. All right. Who do you want to see in Sonic the Movie 4?
I don't know if I want there to be a Sonic movie 4. In other words, okay, you did a good movie. All right, 1 was great. 2 was outstanding. We haven't seen 3 yet, so we don't know where they're going. Um, Quit while you're ahead.
Quit while
In other
you're
words,
ahead.
yes, because in other words, I don't want them to turn the Sonic movie into yet another Marvel thing where they're whipping a Sonic movie out every 6 months
Yep.
and they just burn it out and
Yeah.
just throw it in the trash.
Did you see the Knuckles series?
Yes, you
Yeah.
mean the what's his name?
Wade.
They the way they call it the Wade Show.
Yeah, it really was.
No,
Absolutely.
but I enjoyed it and it was fun. But to be fair, they sold it. They sold that show on a different premise.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I thought like like the chief made his appearance, but I thought like Tikal was gonna make her appearance and maybe even Chaos, in some sort of sense and aspect to it, but I guess not. I guess not.
But that's
Maybe
my
down the
example.
line, but we'll see.
But that's the thing. That's my example of quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, quit while you're
Go
ahead.
out with a bang.
All
Don't
right.
don't do it like The Simpsons. That's been garbage for the past 25 years.
I'm not gonna tell the Simpsons guy you said that though.
Oh no, trust me, it kills me to say that because after like season 22, I
Mhm.
just couldn't anymore. They're just awful to me. I mean, they but if you were one of the Simpsons voice actors getting paid $1 million plus per episode, would you want to quit?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Money
It's
talks, right?
business. The problem is it's business, and if they're gonna keep making money, there'll be Sonic Movie 24.
Mhm.
So you have to look at it in both ends of the rope.
Yeah. All right. What animal would you want to see as a Sonic character?
What do you mean, like a badnik, or I mean, I don't.
Like any like Sonic's a hedgehog, Knuckles is a
Oh,
echidna. Yeah.
oh, shoot, that's a tough one. Heck, I don't know. A leopard or a panther? I
Okay.
don't know.
Cool. I like it. I
I
like
mean,
it.
they used in Vector the alligator, so I mean, we could cover the whole zoo, all of the zoology there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. All right. Your favorite non-Sonic franchise?
uh, Non-Sonic franchise. Heck, that's a tough one. Uh, well, no, I take it back. Super Mario, of course.
All
Um,
right.
I love all the Super Mario games. I mean, that's where I talk about, what I expected Sonic Adventure to be. After
Hmm.
playing Super Mario 64 and
Hmm.
Sonic Adventure was coming, I paid $400 for my Dreamcast. I paid full price for the game and all the peripherals. I bought it on day one, so I was fully invested. And I was disappointed that it wasn't like, the same 3D adventure that's where my complaint is. Mario went from 2D to Super Mario 64 incredibly well. In
Hmm.
my opinion, it didn't happen like that for Sonic. I had higher hopes.
Yeah, that's understandable. I get
And
it.
every Mario game that comes out, going from Mario 64 to Mario Galaxy, it got even better. And then Mario Odyssey. If you ever played Super Mario Odyssey, that's an incredible game.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. A lot of different things to do for sure. So, Sonic using vehicles, awesome or silly?
No, it's cool. I mean, everybody loves Sonic Racing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. All right,
I
last
know
one
people would
here.
say, "Why does Sonic need a car?" Don't
Yeah,
bring in reality. This is just fantasy fun. Enjoy it.
exactly. I mean, why does Shadow need a motorcycle? Exactly. Same ask. All right, chili dogs, gross or delicious?
They're delicious. And if you've never had a delicious chili dog, you got to come to the Houston area and go to James Coney Island. I need to take my Sonic plush over there and have him pose next to those chili dogs. They're the best.
Thank you so much, Barry, for your time. Appreciate it. You are at Sonic 1992 on your platforms, and you are going to be on collectibles.com real soon to check out that collection. So make sure you check out his collection, what he loves, his passion. Thank you so much for sharing your stories, your journey in collecting with us, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.